I just watched a video by Zoom, and he's talking about how the left has no representation in America. And how, let me see if I can pretty much get what he said. He said, the left has no representation in America because the Democrats are, how do you say that? The Democrats are center right, and the freaking Republicans are far right. And I left my little comments and stuff like I do, and it's like, okay, you know, but then I was thinking about that. Oh, because afterwards he said, because he's so tired of conservatives or Republicans saying, oh, Biden and Harris, they're for the CCP. They're gonna freaking, they're gonna make the whole world socialist, communist. And it's like, about this time I'm just, my head's going off like Jiffy Pop, right? So you like this new hairdo? And it's like, well, wait a minute. I had to think about that for a minute, because it's like, now, I could just say, no, it is. They're all communists. Everyone's a communist. Everyone that freaking isn't freaking a Republican, or at least a halfway Republican, is freaking, a Bolshevik. I don't know if that's Bolshevik is right, but everyone's right of freaking Stalin, is a freaking monger, and all that. But then I got thinking about it, and I thought, well, wait a minute. I mean, of course, you could get into factions to the left, factions to the right. Oh, good, I'm recording. Factions to the left, factions to the right. And who will follow who? Eventually, where will they go? Who will they lockstep with? And it's like, I mean, there's been books written about that since the 2000s, like What's Wrong with Kansas and stuff like that. And it's like, when Kasim's talking about this, I'm like, you cannot seriously be calling the freaking Democratic Party center right. But, I mean, they're actually center left, I would say, close. Because they're limousine socialists. And it's like, because they are corporate socialists. And it kind of represents the split between the radical left, which are like Antifa, and not everybody is Antifa, but you could say that they're radical in one degree or another in different factions. And that's like freaking anarcho-communist. Or you got the other faction of the left, because the new left is socialist. And that is democratic socialism. And what democratic socialism is it seeks to replace communism with a socialist society. Now, whether you believe Marx in that a socialism is just a bridge from capitalism to communism is one thing. I tend to believe it. But what they are is that they use the part that says democratic means that they use institutions and social norms, social institutions and public establishments to make this transition instead of violent revolution. The Bernie Sanders types, the Brave New World, the Aldous Huxley, I think I get saying that name right. Those types. He wasn't anti-frigging socialist. He was a socialist. He was just friggin' anti-frigging hard Stalinist communist. Or Lenin at the time, maybe. I'm not sure. But the point is that our great people we cite for being anti-collectivist because of hard socialism were socialists themselves. So, So, the way I see it is that the left, excuse me, I need a drink. I'm sorry. Okay. Sorry. The left is divided between, well, like the title I'm going to put up in this video, the bar left and the fake left. But if you look at it from a center right or a far right perspective, it's almost the same as what's happening on the left. We have the mainstream, which is closer to center, and then at different ends, we got the far ends. So, it's like a shell, it's like, I don't know. It's like, I honestly see it in American politics as we have a one-party, two-faction system. Because these people are just going back and forth, playing us for left and right reins. It's like stop, go, a little to the left, a little to the right. It's all just to keep control. That's the whole point. I don't even think it's to freaking keep control as in the sense of dominionism. Well, it is to a point, of course, but I think it's keep control just to keep it all friggin' together. I mean, this country, if it didn't have those kind of frigging ultra hard controls, would just fly apart at the seams. There wouldn't be an America anymore. So, I'm kind of slightly forgiving of that, considering, unless you want something that like what happened to frigging the USSR, but we won't have the luxury of a last dinosaur, which is us, America, holding up that flagpole while someone else regroups. No, that won't happen. if we come crashing down, a lot of things come crashing down with us. Probably a lot of the Western world, to be honest. Unless you want an Indo-Chinese monopoly on the world, this is where we are. So to say that the frigging, the left has no representation, well, no, the left, even though it's center left, the Democrats, they, as much as they can, they shift. Was it the Overton shift? It was to the left or to the right? Well, anyway, everything keeps shifting to the left. And you might say, why? Well, the truth is why is because it's scarcity. And what I mean by that is, the more information you have, the more generally you go left. Itchy leg. And it's like, well, because the more information you have, the more egalitarian you have. See, and part of scarcity is that information. The more you know, the more information you have around you, the more it pulls you to the left. And it's like, with this, you have a problem because, yes, it is like no one on the far left has true control because they can't be trusted with that control. Now, people on the right could have full control, but it's been shown in the past that no one wants that. They can't sustain that because they can't get support for it. So, what you have is things that are both sliding to the left and shifting to a centralist corporatist view. The right is going left, the left is coming right, but they are nowhere in the center. If that makes any sense. Everything is skewed. Of course, that's the way history is, Look at us from the 1900s, the 1930s, the 1960s, 1980s, and now. If you really look at the attitudes and ideas of the politics at the time, things don't just go left or right, they shift. Things shift up and down. And we all know it's broke. So, yes. So, no, I don't think the left is center right. Jesus Christ, Consume. They're not center right. What the fuck are you thinking? I can see how you'd be tempted to think that. But no, it's not. At least I think it's not. So make of it what you will. I don't know. Yeah. What can I say? Thanks. Thanks for your time.